Prince Prospero. For beginning, the cheerful, brave and sinful figure, able to believe himself with the power to rid himself of the plague. In addition to being to owner and lord of the Suppostum Palace, surrounded by his subjects and the people, who serving him with putting any condition ought in. With an attitude and manners so extravagant that the cold seemed Madame Man, away from the contact with the plague that has destroyed with people. He celebrates with a masquerade in which inevitable this.
This is a plague that ends the life of an entire people. It is the spectral figure, sinister looking. His incarnation was blood, red, and the horror of blood. There were sharp pains, a sudden vertigo, then the pulse out upon blood, and the dissolution of the vein. Purple spots on the body, and particularly on the face of the victim, segregate it from humanity and close it to all help and compassion. The invasion, the progress, and the outcome of the disease were a matter of half an hour. Apparently, these same plague, poorly disguised, entered the aforementioned masquerade of Prince Prospero, taking his own life from him.
The ruin appears to Prince Prospero's vassals when he dies. Ruin is everything bad that happens to a bad man who kept his pride to himself. The 1,000 courtier friends of Prince Prospero are not defined by particular names. They are considered imaginary characters, since they are the product of his imagination. The Mask of the Red Death begins its story in an abbey owned by the Prince Prospero. Many people have stayed in the castle of the Saint in a desperation to escape from the Red Death, which has been described as a terrible plague that has killed many people in the village. The victims of this plague are subject to pain and dizziness that end in hemorrhage and final death. The Prince Prospero is indifferent as to the suffering of people by this plague. People only wait for this plague to pass before they can return to their homes which they left behind in search of refuge.
The prosperous prince makes a masquerade ball that lasts all night, so that his visitors have fun. They are used in 7 rooms of different colors, whether they are blue, purple, green, orange, and white. The rest are decorated in black and white. The light is scarlet, which symbolizes the color of blood. The guests are not brave enough to go to the last room with scarlet light, since it's a very creepy room. In this room there is hung clock that indicate the time, and the same time that some bells ring. This is for people stop dancing and taking all in silence. Once the chimes of the clock stop every 8 room to the dance.
Once midnight arrives, the people inside the castle can see a person disguised with black clothes and red spots. He always had on a mask that resembled a corpse. The prosperous prince tells him to show himself to everyone to later take him to the gallows because he considers it an insult to do that to him and his guests. The guests are unable to approach the masked figure, so they decide to stand aside for the figure to pass through the corridors. And when he reached the seventh, he is cornered by the Prince Prospero, and as the masked figure turns to see him, he falls dead. It was dead, and he was stalking the castle. The guests since this run after the figure to immobilize it and remove the clothes, only to realize that there is nothing below. That is when the guests are scared and realize that the plague is approaching for them too, just like this life it will end for them.